hear me now? Good. Brand new mics, live from Bravery Studios, Clifton, New Jersey. I am Darth Messiah, the Dark Sister, always and forever, on his worst behavior. I don't get hard, I stay hard. Mr. DM, find me in your mama's DMs. And you, sir, on the other side of the screen.
You know what, I'm Alex the motherfucking Hill, a.k.a. the Stanley podcaster, a.k.a. the leader of the FTR and the Fuck the Vince McMahon group. And I got one question. Why am I looking at the other side of the room and not you?
You would have to ask that to Nolan Marv. He's talking to the great Malcolm Carter.
What's up, guys? What's up?
Yeah, Malcolm Carter's in the background playing with himself.
Yeah, I had to stop him for a second. That's why
I know I can see it because... You know, I can see him doing it because the camera's pointing on y'all still.
Yeah, I had to stop him. Like, this is a professional business over here.
Anyway, welcome to Ultra Heelz Wrestling Podcast, live from Bravery Studios. And yeah, it's been an interesting week. It's always an interesting week lately. What's going on with you?
Yes. You know, trying to die slowly, trying to die fast. Called out of work today because I didn't feel like going. So, you know, fuck them. Oh, they're making masks a mandatory thing down here now.
They're finally making it mandatory?
Yeah, my job is making it mandatory Monday, and Lyft for Uber drivers not picking nobody up, but they ain't got no mask on.
Welcome to our nightmare, bro.
Yo, it's been mandatory here since
March.
Let me tell you right now, it ain't mandatory to me for the simple fact that I don't give a fuck. My job, if you ever had 3 cases at my job already, and those people wore masks every day.
I mean, it's like, you have to do it because of like lawsuits and shit as big companies, but we all know in reality, you're going to catch it or you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm trying to tell people. They're like, oh, we treat you like our family. You treat me like my family, then why the fuck you had me working here through this whole damn epidemic?
Somebody compared it to V for Vendetta, that it's like a way to, it's like socially, like make us feel depressed, I guess, something like that. Like looking around and seeing everybody with masks, it does something to us mentally. I don't know.
I'm gonna tell you what it's doing right now. Tell you what it's doing right now. It's making hood niggas become better thieves because they ain't gotta take their mask off when they go in the store no more.
Facts. Ninja Turtles up.
Word. So, you know, if y'all see me with a better phone and a better setup, best believe, you know, COVID-19 mask helped me get my products.
Oh, you giving away the cheat code right now, bro. Relax.
Hey.
No, I'm playing the long game when it comes to this because I'm taking all my pay stubs. I'm putting them in one place. So in 10 years when that massive lawsuit happens, did you have to work during COVID-19? I have all the proof that I worked.
Oh yeah, that's coming. Lawyer's gonna have a field day when this is over.
Yes, I'm ready for that lawsuit when it happens.
Shout out to Kelvin. He said, "What up, guys? It's been mandatory here since April."
What up, Kelvin?
I'm gonna tell you right now. Right now, Home Depot only do that because that shit is an app. I ain't gotta be the store. I'm gonna slide up and log in and like, poop poop. There you go.
No.
Since then to now, I've been to work every day. Ain't missed a day.
That's the thing. In 10 years from now, eventually that server is going to randomly disappear, and you're not going to be able to get back in. So
yeah,
I have written paper proof. I have my check stubs.
Yeah, I totally believe that. There's gonna be some funny works going on after this is over.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a lot of funny stuff.
That's why I still believe in the paper trail.
Where you're pressured to work, all this kind of stuff. Lawyers, there's gonna be a lawyer who's gonna specialize in COVID cases.
Because there's still settling 9/11 cases.
Oh yeah.
That's still going on, 19 years later.
Yeah.
Hey, don't forget, all buildings matter.
Word.
Yeah, I saw that meme.
Word.
That was pretty funny.
Word.
I'm with that, son. I need it on a t-shirt. I'm about to piss off the world. I don't give a damn.
Speaking of t-shirts, did you see my new shirt? AEW Heelz.
That shirt deserves an applause.
I'm not gonna lie, like that. I like that.
Here's the funny story. It's actually a women's empowerment group that they've put together. It's on the website listed as a Brandy Rhodes merchandise because she put together the women's empowerment group for AEW, and they have a I think they're live right now. They have like a Zoom meeting every Friday
That's kind of cool. I like that shit.
Yeah, if you make a donation on their Patreon, you get the code and you can get into the Zoom meeting.
I'm gonna get to the Zoom meeting. I'm gonna be like, I ain't got nothing to say. I just want to sit here and listen. You mind if I turn on my camera? Or are you gonna do it here in the background?
Yeah. They announced a Pokemon game like that for brushing your teeth.
Oh yeah, I've seen that, and I still think that's weird. But Japan is weird anyway. So
yeah.
You see the commercial? They had a kid of every ethnicity. They made sure this is gonna be a diverse game. Every kid's gonna brush their teeth around the world.
Japan said, "Fuck that, y'all not trying to get us caught up in this bullshit."
Word.
We ain't with the smoke. We don't want none of that.
Word.
Speaking of bullshit, there's been some interesting news stories the last 12 hours. On my way here, I saw something from the Wrestling Observer. It was about the Howard Stern show. I forgot what day it was this week. I think it was Tuesday. Howard Stern was talking about Goldust. He said Goldust was his favorite wrestler from the 90s. And he was like, oh, so what is Goldust doing now? And his producers looked up, what is Goldust doing? It was like, oh, he works for AEW now. Howard Stern's like, what the fuck is an AEW? I've never heard of it. And then the producer jumps up, oh, I've watched it a couple times. It's backyard wrestling.
Oh, wow. They really did that.
So that is the perception of AEW to non-wrestling fans.
Wow.
Do they not realize that Tony Khan can buy out his studio and just shut his ass down just so you want to be a dick?
Hey, it's something I've been saying from the beginning. AEW's not attracting new wrestling fans. It's the people that were going to watch those people anyway. Regardless how they had to find that group of people to watch their wrestling, it's the same people. They didn't bring in a new audience. They didn't bring back people that stopped watching wrestling. It's the people that were going to watch those particular wrestlers anyway.
Did you guys watch the 1 year later recap on what coach?
Hey man, I'm saying right now.
It's on my watch list. I didn't get to it yet.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet either, but I'm really curious to see the 1 year later thing. There's a lot of promises they made that they haven't kept.
The biggest one is the sports-based wrestling. Where's the sports-based wrestling?
Facts.
You've just copied WWE in your own style. That's all it is.
Yes. That's literally sports-based wrestling. It's WWE style, and it's WWE doing their own style.
Well, I'm also going to criticize WWE because when SmackDown started on Fox, they kept promising us sports-based wrestling. But then immediately, Fox decided, no, we don't want Brock Lesnar on our show. Give us The Fiend, which is sports entertainment, not sports.
Yep.
Hey, look, Fox knew what they wanted. Fox was trying to get the ratings. Vince McMahon think he know what Fox want too.
We'll get into what Vince McMahon wants. The other news story that popped up. Let me look at the article here because this is a loaded one. Actually, the homie Kelvin sent it to us. What's going on in British wrestling? There's a 45 name list of women in British wrestling that are accusing that they were sexually or physiologically sexually abused, including when they were underage. They are alleging that David Starr, Mark Perry, Travis Banks, Jordan Devlin, Scott Davis, and Mikey Whipwreck all were part of this group of people that were abusing females in the British wrestling scene.
Mikey Whipwreck's name was the one that threw me off. I was like, Jesus Christ, Mikey Whipwreck.
Yeah. And so all of them have been released from Progress so far. The ones that are contracted to WWE, nothing has happened there yet.
But then they also threw Mr. Matt Riddle name into the pot now too.
No, that's a separate issue. I'm gonna get to the Matt Riddle one.
I'm talking about just in general. Now his name got thrown in the pot. I guess when one lawsuit started, this opens the floodgates for everybody else now.
Yeah, let me find shit. Where's the Matt Riddle one? Who sent it to me? I think Kelvin sent that one to me too. I don't know who sent me or did you send me the Matt Riddle one?
I sent you the Matt Riddle one.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, the Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle's he has an ongoing stalker issue. Some girls alleging that she was abused by Matt Riddle a couple of years ago. He went to his lawyer. He's had no contact with this person in face to face. He's never met her. But so he has a restraining order against her, but she still keeps coming back randomly on the internet saying, "Oh, I've been abused by Matt Riddle," even though they've never met in person.
It's that super psychological shit. Maybe she needs to talk to Bray Wyatt. Maybe Bray Wyatt can fix that. She need to fix any other character he gets.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. Yes, Mikey Whiplash, not Mikey Whipwreck. Wrong person.
Whiplash, Whipwreck, all got the same thing dealing with a car accident.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Wrong decade. This is not the 90s. It's not ECW.
If it was ECW or somebody was molested underage, I don't think nobody would have cared at this point now.
Now, I was talking to Kelvin about this whole, alleged sexual abuse issue. I've been saying this for years now. Basically since the Me Too movement started. How has nobody from the 80s or the early 90s not been charged in the Me Too scene? All of the wrestlers that was slinging dick to anything moving in a wrestling arena.
Wow.
How have they not? Nobody's come out and say, "Oh, Ric Flair assaulted me," or "Michael Hayes assaulted me," or I don't know who else. Not Bobby Roode. Rick Rude, Jake Roberts. Nobody.
You know why? Because when they got in WWE, Vince McMahon treated him the same way he did Snooker when Snooker killed his girlfriend. He went and paid them all a little big amount of money to shut them up for a while.
I guess so.
That's what I'm thinking. Even George Jeff wrote in the chat that hush money good.
Yeah.
You're Ultra Heels. You're
word that hush money, boy. I'm telling you, I'm gonna tell the world that you raped me. Rent's like, look, I'm gonna drop at least $100K in your account every 6 months to shut the fuck up. I'm gonna shut the fuck up.
Wrestling guys were rock stars in the 80s.
Yep.
The same way like rappers in the early 2000s,
yeah.
They was slinging dick, knocking down all the fangirls. That's
knocking down every fangirl, men's wives,
yes.
Like fucking grandmas, aunties. If you wanted it, they wasn't holding back.
These wrestlers were rock stars. How has nobody from the Me Too movement come out and said this wrestler assaulted me? I'm still shocked.
You know why? Because I don't think it's assault. If that's what you dream of getting, and then you finally got it.
Oh yes, Calvin brought up the other one, the Jim Cornette thing that came out.
Oh God, please.
Apparently, he once upon a time, I'm not going to say sold his wife, but he let one of the boys knock down his wife or something.
Whoa.
Yeah, I read that junk today, and I was like, wait, what?
Oh, George Jeff brings up another good point. The victims are married to them.
Well, could be.
It could be true.
Could be.
It could be true, because you got to think about it. How many times Ric Flair was married?
He's on wife number 5 right now.
So was the other 4 allegedly any one of those was fans? Or was it somebody he knew long term?
I think his first wife, and then the first 3 wives, I believe, were like long term, because wife 2 and 3 are the mother of the kids. David Flair's mom is the second wife. Charlotte and Reed's mom is the third wife.
But somewhere down the line, they was fans before they became involved and knowing him a long term. Look at Randy's wife. Randy's wife was a fan.
Yeah.
Look what she turned out to be. She turned out to be a wife. And what happened somewhere down the road? Randy and her stopped being together. Some other fan had to be Randy's wife.
Yeah.
The mentality was different back then, I think. I think some people viewed it back then in show business, not just wrestling in general, but in all the show business, they were like, that's part of the business.
Yeah, but
you're literally a rock star at this point. So every female wanted to have sex with you, and there was like no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Now, if you want to have sex with somebody, it's not the same.
Well, okay, I guess we'll have our second political segment in 2 weeks. Well, look at Bill Cosby.
Oh yeah, we will.
I knew you
look at Bill Cosby.
Next. All his cases are from the 80s.
No,
exactly, it's the same thing. All his cases are from the 80s. If he was a rock star. He was a famous comedian, famous actor. Years later, all these women that to me, in my mind, at the time, they knew what they were doing. You're going to a Hollywood party. Shit is going to happen. You're gonna do drugs. There's going to be
cocaine
sex.
cowboys.
There's going to be drugs. There's going to be sex. Nobody told you had to be there. I'm gonna say there's probably some ones that were legitimately harassed or raped or whatever. Were there ones? Yes, sure, but not the amount that came out. I refuse to believe. Some of them I believe are in it for the money.
Yeah, let's give them the benefit of the doubt and say that 80s wrestlers were nice gentlemen. You think we could do that? With
Yeah,
a straight
right.
Face? Alex, say that with a straight face.
Trying to think, how can I?
Walk into a Mid-South locker room in the 80s. In a matter of 30 seconds, you'll find cocaine, heroin, mescaline,
Allegedly.
steroids.
Allegedly.
No, not allegedly. There's stories to back all this up.
I'm about to say, hell yeah, the Road Warrior shit from Beyond the Ring. Them niggas told you, hey, we doing cocaine in the back.
They were doing
Motherfuckers only told
drugs,
it.
but they weren't raping women. So we got to give a round of applause to 80s wrestlers. Nobody has a case yet, right?
Not that we know of.
Not that nobody we know of at all. They
were-
got murder. Some of them got murder charges. Some got drug charges, but none of them has a Me Too movement or a rape case on them. That's fucking weird.
There you go. So they were gentlemen. They're just gentlemen that did drugs.
Yeah.
Just give them the benefit of the doubt until something comes
Great.
out.
There was a whole bunch of gentleman jacks back then.
Yeah, word.
Well, no, he's not even a gentleman anymore. It's just Jack Gallagher. He's all tatted up now.
Yeah, he still look weird.
Let's just give him the benefit of the doubt until a story comes out. Because it's not too late for something to come out.
I do like the new mics. I sound
like-
wonderful.
Yeah, the new mics sound great.
It's
First
awesome.
of all, that's that mic right there. You supposed to drop that mixtape you put there a long time ago.
Word, dog.
It's a thing of legend.
It
I
is.
don't think it'll ever actually happen. It's just a legend.
It's an Ultra Hill legend, yeah.
Hey, look, man, it's OGL legend, but you know they bring out vintage things to read for everybody for the new days to know what they are.
Yeah. Oh, Calvin just said Jack Gallagher is on that alleged rape list as well.
God damn.
Yeah.
I guess he wasn't no gentleman.
Hey.
This is crazy, son. I don't understand. Oh, so let's get into some news, or let's talk about something that happened, because I don't remember most of wrestling this week. It's really sad.
Oh yeah, well we obviously have to cover the greatest wrestling match ever because this is the greatest podcast ever.
Word. And if anybody say different, you can fight me with the hands for real.
Facts. All that. All right, go ahead. What you got?
So let's talk about this COVID-19 case that happened on taping of SmackDown.
Yep.
So do you know who it is?
No, I didn't. I haven't gone that deep.
Apparently, it's Kevin Owens.
I find it funny that he voluntarily went home too.
Yeah, I find it really strange. I had to do some digging because when they said it, nobody was saying who the name was. But WWE put out a little thing saying one of their guys at the Performance Center had tested positive for it. So taping of SmackDown was halted,
Right.
and everybody was going to get tested. And I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I'm thinking it's like somebody in the crowd, you know, a little side talent.
That's how they
You know, I
made
thought
it.
about
That's
it.
how they made it sound at first. That it was one of like the crowd people.
Yeah, but then after I thought about it, I went online and said, nah, that don't sound too good. Because if it was somebody in the crowd, it wouldn't have been a big deal. But they made it seem like it was a big deal. And I said, it got to be somebody bigger than that. So I looked into it. And apparently, everything is leading to saying that Kevin Owens is the one tested positive for COVID-19.
Okay.
So if he tests positive for COVID-19, that means whoever he had interaction with in the back might take that test for that 2 weeks and can't be seen on TV. So there's no telling how many people he probably been around if he did have it.
Right.
So right now they kind of just did it like a little suicide bomb in the back of the locker room. We're probably going to have like 9 niggas wrestling on SmackDown and Raw, and Charlotte's going to be on all 3 shows still. But
Yeah.
nonetheless,
No, what the hell happened to Carmella? That one I didn't hear about. Kelvin.
I don't know. I know she had tested positive. I know her and Corey Graves tested positive the first time.
That was like back in the beginning though. That was like
Yeah,
early
like
April.
I remember they tested positive the first time, but then I don't remember hearing nothing else about them after that. After she showed back up on the Money in the Bank kind of corporate ladder bullshit match, and Corey Graves showed back up, but he been doing his podcast. I don't think he really cares about being on the road, aka the Performance Center anymore. He can stay home and just do his podcast all damn day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, still ain't better than the toy podcast that Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins do, but still, whatever.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But let's talk about this greatest wrestle match ever. Is this the best wrestling match of wrestling matches ever? I wonder if WWE gonna stop saying wrestling after this point now.
Well, they're also saying strap now because we have Becky Dos Straps.
Yeah, cause you can't go Becky 2 belts. You already got that. You can't go Becky 3. You can't go Bayley 3 belts because technically that's Charlotte. Cause that bitch done held every goddamn thing more than once.
Well, I guess you could have. Well, it looks like they're setting up something with Bayley and Io Shirai, so Bayley can win the NXT title and be Becky 3 straps. I was like Bayley 3 straps.
Yeah, I don't want to see that. I like Bayley. This not that much ever. Well, I like her in regular street clothes, sundresses, shit like that. But wrestling wise, I don't really care for her.
Yeah. Okay, Kelvin just sent me something about Jimmy Havoc. He's stepping away from AEW. It says we wish Jimmy Havoc all the best as he receives treatment and counseling in an effort to overcome his mental and substance abuse challenges in his life.
Wow.
I believe the substance abuse part was obvious.
Yeah, so we have another Jeff Hardy. That's what I'm hearing.
George F. Vince doesn't like the word wrestling.
It's on the ban list. You're not supposed to say wrestling, except for WrestleMania. And World of Wrestling Entertainment. That's the only time you're allowed to say wrestling around Vince.
And now all of a sudden, you're only allowed to say it now when you say the best wrestling match ever.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie, they did say every like I went back on YouTube. There's literally a counter for every time they said wrestling since the thing started. Bruh, that shit got to I think 206. I was like, bruh, there's no way you say wrestling that much between them last few weeks before that damn pay-per-view.
Correct me if I'm wrong. This is not new, right? This is 2000s, 90s, right? This happened.
Oh yeah, because I want to say it was 2012. The list of things Vince banned got leaked on the internet. And it's a whole bunch of stupid shit. Like hospital. You can't say hospital. You have to say medical facility.
Medical emergency facility. You can't say belt. It has to be title. You can't say strap. It has to be title. It's a whole list of words that was stupid. And once people on the internet found out what they were, it was all downward.
All right, we're coming back now.
All right. So like Kelvin is saying, you can say World Championship Wrestling. You can say Extreme Championship Wrestling, and that's why The Rock was the most electrifying man in all sports entertainment, not wrestling.
Yeah,
because you're not allowed to say wrestling.
I think it came from this guy. What's his name? Vince Russo.
Well, no. Okay, the whole sports entertainment thing came from the steroid trial, and what was that? 93.
Oh, okay.
Because Vince's argument to Congress was, we're not a sport, we are entertainment.
Got you.
Because a part of the steroid trial was also the thing about being a private contractor versus being an employee. So a private contractor is an athlete. Anybody that plays basketball, soccer, baseball, you're a private contractor. You're not an employee.
That's messed up too, man. All sports are fucked up.
Yeah. You're a private contractor, not an employee. So by them separating themselves, they don't have to... There's certain things you don't have to do for a private contractor. You don't have to provide them with transportation. Like the wrestlers pay for their own rentals, in their own hotels, in their own food. Except for when they go, except for anything that involves a plane trip. The company pays for like if you have to do an overnight plane trip for a pay-per-view, the company will pay for that. But if you're just going home and then going to the next show, you have to pay for it out of your own pocket.
Yeah, it's a dirty game they playing.
Yeah, George. It's a bunch of corporate loopholes. Yep.
Yeah. Did you hear the thing about that whole thing with Randy and fucking around and board a plane?
Yeah.
Okay, he got messages from all the wrestlers saying, good, about time and all sort of shit. And Corey Graves talks about it on his podcast, and Randy was like, no, he said, you know what the most funny thing was? He said, when I posted that, I didn't think nothing of it. He said, my wife called me and was like, do you see all these damn messages you're getting up there about everybody? Instagram and look. He said he got all these messages from all the boys in the back talking about something. Hey, man, I'm happy for you, bro. And, oh, shit, about the time you finally got one. He said, but the one that fucked me up the most is I got a voice message from Undertaker talking about something. Hey, man, you get busy. Hey, he said, hey, man, you get busy trying to get like the big boys, and now you finally got a plane. I'm happy for you. Congrats. He said, bro, this is all bullshit. These motherfuckers congratulate me on some shit I ain't never really do yet.
Nice. I knew he didn't buy a plane. I knew he didn't buy a plane. I said that from the beginning. If anything, he had bought a timeshare on a private plane. I had a feeling he did not buy his own personal plane.
That shit is funny. He said Undertaker fell forward and hit him with a voice message congratulating him. He's all shit. He said, how I gotta explain this to him?
Yeah, you gotta pay the piper, as they say.
Yeah, I ain't paying shit. I'm just gonna buy me a real plane and call it a day.
So the world's the best wrestling match ever. Let's talk about it. Edge versus Randy Orton. It went 50 minutes. The 50-minute non-title main event on Backlash 2020. It ended with the punt kick returning. And not only did the punt kick return, Randy Orton went to leg slap class. He took Ciampa's advice and went to leg slap class because he slapped the hell out of his leg on that kick.
When he did it and he slapped his leg, I said, look at him, still from NXT.
I immediately popped. I was like, he slapped his leg.
I ain't gonna lie, though. It made it sound a lot much better in a quiet-ass place like that.
Yeah. Yeah, official time was 44 minutes and 45 seconds.
I ain't gonna lie. It wasn't the best wrestling match ever, but it was the most entertaining match between them two, seeing how Edge has wrestled in 9 years.
It actually held my attention for that 44 minutes. Unlike WrestleMania, I kind of got bored during the match of WrestleMania, but that's another story. Yeah, because they paced it out well. It wasn't the typical, how did Ciampa put it? The rest hold Randy Orton match that puts everybody to sleep. They didn't do that.
Yeah, they actually went all out. It's rare for Randy to go all out because Randy ain't gone all out since the days of Evolution.
Yeah, because Randy Orton used the pedigree. Edge used the rock bottom. Did Orton use a Batista bomb? Did I see that? Yeah, there you go. He made it use a Batista bomb.
He got a Batista bomb. He hit the RKO, hit the punt. I was happy he hit the punt. I was like, when I watched the match, I said the only thing Randy can do that would make me more happy is this is Edge's neck is back and he hit him with a full-on punt. And then he went to the corner. I set him up my bed like, shit, I think he heard me. Yeah, thank you, guys.
Yep. And when he went for it, I knew it wasn't going to be a fake one because he's done the fake one a whole bunch of times over the last, 15 years.
But him and Edge got that one packed down because that shit looked like he really kicked him in the head as hard as he could with all his might.
Yep, that was.
But the thing that sucks is throughout that whole match, Edge got injured, and it's not what everybody think he got injured for.
Yeah, it was a pectoral or something? I forgot what it was.
Yeah, he tore his pectoral muscle. People was like, "Oh, he got kicked in the neck, or he must have twisted his knee bad. He can't." I was like, "Nah, it's his pectoral."
Oh, no, sorry, tricep. It was a tricep.
You would think that wouldn't get fucked.
It was a tricep.
Yeah, the one thing you think he wouldn't fuck up is the one thing he fucked up.
Okay, I'm looking at the match times. Okay, Apollo Crews and Andrade. I'll even include the pre-show just for the.
That was a good ass match though.
7
minutes. Even though a pre-show match, it was good.
7 minutes, 25 seconds. Sasha and Bayley versus Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross versus the Iconics, 8:50. Sheamus versus Jeff Hardy, 16:50. Asuka versus Nia Jax, 8:25. Strowman versus Miz and Morrison, 7:20. McIntyre versus Lashley, 13:15. If you add all those matches up, that's approximately, 16, that's 30. It's about the same amount of time. Those other six matches are the same length as Orton and Edge put together.
That's crazy as hell.
Yeah.
So, I just let you know that WWE know how to let Edge and Randy do what the fuck they want. Everybody's got to follow suit, and you can kiss their ass.
And the fact that it wasn't trash it was interesting enough to hold your attention. I'm fine with them putting that moniker on it, even though we knew it wasn't going to be the greatest wrestling match ever. We knew that.
Yeah, we already had that with Daniel Bryan and Drew Gulak, and then we had it again with Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles.
Well, actually, that was this. Was that the Friday after? No. Yeah, that was the Friday before the pay-per-view. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's when AJ won the belt.
Now, I'll ask you this. I don't remember your answer. What do you think is the greatest wrestling match ever?
Like pure wrestling match or just wrestling like WWE status wrestling match?
Anything. Any promotion.
Pure wrestling match? You see the Shawn and Brett or Stone Cold and Brett?
Okay, yeah. Sounds about right.
Yeah. Like, now, you want to go with WWE standards of wrestling match? You know what I'm going to say. Any match Benoit had against any goddamn body.
Okay. Benoit Angle, then.
You know what? I can really say that's probably the greatest wrestling match of all time, period. Because they really went out there and really wrestled.
Yeah, because they have a very similar skill set, and they're both very good at that style.
They legit went out there and shoot wrestle and entertainment wrestle at the same time. They just didn't go out there and try to hit off particular certain moves or certain specials. No, there was a lot of toe kicks, a lot of reversal or arm locks into headlocks, into stiff shoulders. I was like, bro, this is like a legit wrestling match. And they literally put on a whole good show, and nobody realized that these motherfuckers was really out there just doing what they normally do best.
I forgot who I was talking to on Instagram the other day about what do you think is the greatest wrestling match of all time. Somebody brought up a match. I'm not going to put it on my list of best ever, but it was a really good match. Andrade versus Gargano at TakeOver Brooklyn 2 in 2017, 18. That was a really, really good match.
Yeah, it was.
Because
like we need to do that. We need to sit down and have a top best match of like certain years.
Okay. Because before watching that match, all I can remember was the ending, because that was where Ciampa showed up and turned on Gargano, because he came back from his injury, he had the crutch, and he turned on Gargano. That's all I remember from that night. I don't remember that match, but now looking back at it, that's a top tier match.
That's a top tier match. Gargano versus Ciampa the first time was a top tier match. Let's see, Drew versus Andrade.
I was going to say that McIntyre and Andrade. Yep.
Yeah.
Samoa Joe and Shinsuke.
Yeah, Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe.
Yep.
There was a lot of good tier just wrestling matches that's main evented on NXT, and I don't think people get them enough credit for what they were. They just get them a lot of, that was a good match. No, these niggas put on a real good ass wrestling match, because these motherfuckers been knew each other for goddamn decades.
And as much as I dislike Kenny Omega, I'll give you Omega Okada 2 and 3. I think those were the best ones that they had.
I give Omega also the one with him and Jericho the first time.
Oh yes, I'll give you that one too. Omega Jericho 1. I'll give you that also.
Because how long was that? That shit felt like it was like an hour long of a match.
Yeah. As much as I dislike Kenny Omega, I will give you those matches, because as I say, Kenny Omega is good when he has a better talent to work with. He can't be the top talent in the match, but that's another story.
He can't beat Chris Jericho. He cannot make anybody look better than him. He just can't.
Bingo. But not to take anything away from him. He's super talented. I just don't think he's one of the greatest ever. That's just my 2 cents.
I can't say he's one of the greatest ever, but I can say that he's up there in a top list of people under the greatest era.
Yes, that's exactly where I place him. He's Dolph Ziggler.
Like,
Kenny Omega is Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, he literally is. That's so sad.
Because Dolph Ziggler, super talented. He can do anything and everything that there is to do. He just needs a better talent to work with. Whether he wins or loses, he needs a better talent to work with. When Dolph Ziggler worked with